reasons for negotiation. Why go into negotiation? Number one, you will get less agitated once you know everything is negotiable. You get less agitated, you get less irritated, you get less bothered. Your health will improve. You will experience less disappointment with outcomes, knowing there will always be another opportunity to negotiate. Are you together? You get less disappointed with the outcome of any negotiation, knowing that there will always be another negotiation. That's why we say you archive all these ones. Even if you are not finally a party to future negotiations, there will always be another negotiation. If you are able to do this, you become a sought after arbiter. You become a sought after umpire. You become a sought after peacemaker. You become a peace ambassador. It's a reason for negotiation. You become a peace ambassador. To negotiate peace on new footings, nations go to war. Why do nations fight? Why do they go to war? They go to war so they can negotiate peace under new conditions. That's all. Because man cannot live without peace. So when two people go into war, they are simply fighting so that they can establish peace in a new terms. Yes, on new terms. That's all. To end wars, nation again go back to the negotiation table. When negotiations fail, nation go to war. But for the war to end, they must go back to the negotiating table. All wars will end at the negotiating table. That's where it's going to end.
Why do you have to
go to war in the first place? That's because they don't understand negotiation. That's what we're saying. When you understand negotiation itself and know that there's always another negotiation, wars will be averted. Negotiation approaches. There are two main approaches. Number one, distributive. The distributive approach comes from a scarcity mindset. That there will be no relationships. It's like winner takes all. If I don't take, I lose. You play your cards close to your chest. You are hiding everything. Don't disclose information. Get as much information on the other part as possible without diverging yours. This is the distributive. Let them know you have options. And then you make the first offer. Then the integrative approach says that there is enough for everybody. This one comes from the abundance mindset. Okay? That there is always something for everybody. Rather than tear ourselves apart, how about joining forces together? To work together? I mean, it's just like if the politicians are sincere, what do they really want? You know, for Nigeria to make progress? Is it not?
Yes, that's what they want.
No, I'm saying if really they were sincere. Yes, if they were sincere. It's not for us to make progress. Does it really matter who wins? At the end of the day, we'll compete for it, but it doesn't matter who wins. If you win, we support you. If you win, we support you. If I win, it doesn't matter who wins. But because they are not really interested in Nigeria, they are not interested in their pockets, they must kill everybody so that they can win. You know? Integrative, joining forces, must be relationship driven. If I were given a choice in Nigeria, I would say the interest of the black man is what matters. I don't care whether you are Fulani from Futajalon. I don't care whether you are Yoruba from Mecca. It's totally irrelevant. As long as you are a black man, there is space for you in this place. Are you together? There is a place for you in this place. Can we make it together? But because we are selfish, all we just want to do is divide and rule. Now, you must go there with mutual benefit for all. That the negotiation must be mutually beneficial in an integrative approach. Then that there are more than one issue, multiple issues. There will always be multiple issues. Some you are aware of, some you don't know, and therefore you share information. You share information, and then you come in with a mindset of problem solving. Can we solve the problem, rather than find out who is right or wrong? Yes, and then we build bridges rather than burn bridges. We build bridges, cohabit. Then types of negotiation. There are about 4 or 5 types of negotiation. Number 1 is competing. In competing, you are assertive. You want to assert yourself. You are self-confident. You have it all. You are focused, self-centered, domineering, and then you value substance over the relationship. What you are taking away over the relationship. And then there's the avoiding type of negotiation. Here you are apprehensive. You avoid tension. You don't want to create tension. So you are always placating. You are neutral, objective, or even removed from the situation. So you mean, well, whatever the outcome is, okay, it's okay. Whatever the outcome is. You are lackadaisical, you are, And then self-sacrifice for the betterment of every other person, It's not focused on substance of the agreements or relationship. So anything goes, whatever it is, whatever people agree. So you are avoiding the issues. It's a type of negotiation. Then number 3 is accommodating. This one is relationship focused. Want to maintain relationship rather than the gains of the negotiation. Want to minimize differences. Can we iron out our differences? It's accommodating. Satisfying the need of the counterparty. This one is very necessary in a marriage relationship. Accommodating. Highly cooperative. Work together. And then the next one is compromising type of negotiation. Compromising. Quick middle ground solution. How can we quickly come together and, intermediate in assertiveness and cooperativeness. It is intermediate. It balances assertiveness and cooperativeness. While you are cooperating, you are also asserting some leverage. Then you arrive at a decent agreement that favors all. Then number 5, collaborating type of negotiation. Here you are honest. Put everything on the table. You communicate effectively. Then you create solutions. And then suggestive of many ideas. Promote relationship. And you promote substance of the agreement. What is the substance of this agreement, rather than the form it is taking. And then optimal long-term outcomes. You are looking at long-term relationship rather than just the benefits of today. And so this is represented in this diagram where we have substance versus relationship. The avoiding is very, very low on substance, is low on relationship. Zero substance, zero relationship. Anything, whatever you agree, it's okay. Then we have the competing, which is high on substance and zero on relationship. This one wants to take everything. Then you have the compromising, and then, of course, the most beneficial is collaborating. Then we also have what they call the principled negotiation. Principled negotiation, we will negotiate based on principles. Bargaining that uses the parties' principles and interest to reach an agreement. This type of negotiation often focuses on conflict resolution. It is integrative in approach rather than distributive. It's integrative in approach, and it talks about mutual gain. It focuses on the interests of all parties, and then it separates emotions from the issues at hand. And of course, it is objective. Then we also have the team negotiation. Team negotiation. Here, multiple people bargain toward an agreement on each side of the negotiation. Multiple parties. Some on trade, some on cultural, some various aspects of the. So we give it to the various experts to go and look at and come up. So in such a way, you can form subcommittees. Do you understand? The subcommittees. This committee handle this committee handle this committee handle this. So by the time they all come up with their agreements, it forms a document that can result in what you call a communique. So there will be a leader for those teams. So it's not everybody being equal on it. That's total anarchy. Somebody will lead the team. And then you also have somebody who is an observer, who is not party to the negotiations. That's why you find when nations are negotiating, you can have other observer nations who are just there to observe that everything is happening according to due protocol or due process. Then there's a relator, there's a recorder, and then there's also a critic, and then there's a builder in team negotiation. Multi-party negotiation, where more than two parties negotiate toward an agreement. Like when you are talking about games, Olympics, where there are many nations coming together to agree what games, what are the standards, and where shall we hold it, who will be our host, what are the terms, who are we using as advertising. So a lot of things come into it when you have such situations, multi-party negotiation. So you have fluctuating partners, best alternative to negotiated agreements because of the various parties involved. So to be fluctuated, it's not fixed. Then you now have what we call coalition formation. Form a coalition. And then process management issues. And then next, we have what we call the adversarial negotiation. Adversarial negotiation is distributive. Because in this one, you are looking at, it's not cooperative. I come to a negotiation table with you. I know that we are going to live here as enemies. It's already I made up my mind that we are living here divided. Yes, whether I like it or not. It's just like this. Yes, or like even the Biafra Nigeria negotiation. Biafra is saying that we just must go. So, or is it like what the Oduduwa are also doing now, where they've already petitioned the United Nations successfully, and they're just putting it in motion. In fact, they've already served notice to the president already that the Yoruba nation is leaving Nigeria. So that's an adversarial negotiation, where the most aggressive party in the negotiation achieves an agreement that serves their interest. So here you have real hard bargaining. Then a future promise. You also have this adversarial negotiation when in a divorce situation, where husband and wife are divorcing and they now have to reach an agreement as to the times of separation. It's adversarial, but they know that they are going their separate ways. And then loss of interest. There's a future promise. There's also a loss of interest in the current status quo. Now there are 12 important negotiation skills that are necessary. Negotiation skills, 12. 12. Number 1, communication. You must be able to communicate. Then number 2, you must be an active listener. You must listen to understand, not listen to reply. Then you must be emotionally intelligent. Then you must be able to manage expectations, expectation management. You must have that skill to manage the expectation of the other party, not to put their expectation, not to hype it and then fail them. This one we say promise, under promise and over deliver. So manage expectations, under promise and over deliver. Then you must have extreme patience with yourself and with the other party. Extreme patience. Then you also must be adaptable, adaptability skills. You must be adaptable. 7, persuasion. You must have the power of persuasion. You must be able to persuade others to your point of view. Then you must also be very good at planning. And I believe these are also leadership skills. Somebody asked us, what skills does a leader need to succeed? And I was thinking again, having done what we did yesterday, but these are also very, very necessary for leaders. If you must lead, you must also have all these skills. You must. Then integrity. The integrity, you must have integrity. You must stand for something. Rapport building. You must have rapport building skills. Then you must also have problem solving skills. You must not be overwhelmed by problems that arise in the course of negotiation. Then decision making skills. You must be able to make a decision, not be fluctuating between here and there, not knowing what to do. You must make a decision. How do you negotiate like a professional? How do you negotiate like a professional? Number 1, focus on the outcome you want. Focus on the outcome you want. Why? Because negotiating is mentally taxing. Negotiating is mentally taxing. During these conversations, your mind will be pushed and pulled in many different directions. It's mentally taxing. Prepare and then practice. To negotiate like a pro, you must prepare and you must also practice. If this is your first real negotiation, it's natural to feel nervous and anxious ahead of time. Do your homework beforehand. And that's why I'm telling you now that there's no negotiation that's going to happen as your first, because you are always negotiating anyway. You're being here right now, you are negotiating. Somebody just left us, now he negotiated himself away, right? But he came. In the beginning, nobody forced him to come. So he negotiated himself here for some reason. And he got to a point, he has also negotiated himself out of here. So we're always negotiating. We're always negotiating. Always. Pick your timing. Seizing the right moment to negotiate is critical to the outcome. You know, there's some, especially our women know how to negotiate with their husbands. They know the right time to ask for certain things. You understand? Yes. Where the husband is very, very vulnerable. If you want to negotiate with a king, what do? Go through the queen. Go through the queen. If you really want something, go through the queen. You are likely to get it. Pick your timing. Approach it like a conversation. Once you've put forth what you were looking for, give the other person a chance to explain what they have in mind. Are you together? This is how to negotiate like a professional. You don't go there like a battering ram to go and start insisting on certain things. Then make the ask. It's great to have your list of wants, but you won't get very far if you don't ask for them. Make the ask. Negotiate like a pro is like a seasoned gambler. This is where I started. That's the gambling table. It's also actually a negotiating table. You must know when to hold your cards. That's Kenny Rogers. Yes, we are going to sing that song. You got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. You never count your money. While you sitting on the table, there'll be time enough to count them. When the deal is done, you got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough to count them when the deal is done. Know when to hold your cards. That is, hold them like this. Know when to fold them. Know when to walk away from that table, and then even know when to run when you are in danger. Not knowing it has been the demise of so many. Because there will be time enough to counting it because you can win and you can lose. You can win and you can lose. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. Are you together? Because every hand is a winner and every hand is a loser. And the best that you can hope for is what? Is to die in your sleep. Kenny Rogers.
Okay, I was not seeing some.
Sorry?
I didn't know the song was part of
Yeah, it is. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. So when you're also going to negotiate, you must know what you are going to throw away and what you are never going to negotiate. Do we understand that? Because every move you make is a winner and every move you make is a loser. And the best you can hope for is to die in your sleep. What's BATNA? A BATNA is a best alternative to negotiated agreement. It represents the best option to one party in a negotiation if the talks fail. A strong BATNA means that that party has a reasonably attractive alternative to negotiation. If they fail to reach agreement, they can implement the BATNA with minimal disruption. The first step to determining a BATNA is to list all the possible courses of action that will be available if the negotiation fails. Next, evaluate the value of each alternative and determine which ones are most attractive. Having calculated your BATNA, you can now make a determination about the lowest value deal you should be willing to accept. A weak BATNA should never be revealed to your opponent. Be clear. To win every time, you must be clear on your negotiating goals. You must develop a core negotiation strategy. You must put yourself in the other person's shoes so you can see yourself from their perspective. That's the only way you can win against them. Get to know your own negotiation personality. Speak slowly and softly. Speak slowly, deliberately, and softly. Use reluctant body language. That is to say, I'm reluctant to reach this agreement. Don't be so excited about it. Don't show that you're excited about it. Use reluctant body language. And then stop leaving money on the table Hello? Don't leave anything on the table that you should have taken. Stop leaving money on the table. Common negotiation mistakes. 1, lack of thorough preparation, competing rather than collaborating, cognitive shortcuts, emotional biases, ethical shortcuts, lack of a framework of understanding, failure to build a relationship, lack of trust and respect, no longer a good deal or not as good as previously represented to you. Confrontational personalities, where you have two persons that are just totally unagreeable. Don't bring them to a negotiating table. Assuming win-lose is the only option. Either I win or I lose. If you come like that, it's a mistake. Letting emotion impact your judgment, you lose your objectivity. Not having the right people in the room, you must have the right people. Succumbing to pressure tactics, that's a mistake. Don't succumb to pressure tactics. Not understanding or preparing for cross-cultural negotiation, where there are differences in backgrounds, there are differences in culture, there are differences in belief systems. You are not prepared for them, and you are not understanding or preparing for them, is a mistake that people make in negotiation. And then finally, not reaching a conclusion. You don't go to a negotiation and leave there without reaching a conclusion. There must be a conclusion. You don't leave it open and then fight and then everybody goes away. At the end of it, you have achieved nothing. What's the best negotiation? Although the best negotiation style heavily depends on your situation, most successful negotiators start off with a collaborative negotiation style. However, this won't always be the case, but this is about the best way to start. Collaborative. Are you together? Let us make man in our image. That was the first negotiation. God was negotiating. Let us do what? Make man in our image. That was the first negotiation that involved man. God and Satan are still negotiating even now. Otherwise, God should have just destroyed Satan once and for all. That's why Jesus Christ got to a point and the demons were saying, it's not yet our time. It's not yet our time. You cannot destroy us now. You can't send us away. You can't destroy us. It's not our time yet. What are you doing with us? It's not yet our time. So that negotiation is going on. Man is a product of negotiation. Let us make man in our image. Man is a creature of negotiation. Man is a negotiation incarnate. Your very existence was negotiated. That you are sitting here, you are a product of negotiation. Your father negotiated with your mother to have you. Before she agreed. Rather paying all the price and everything. The day they still conceive, they still negotiate it. After you were born, negotiation continued. What food we did, even the school you went to was negotiated. If you are married now, you also negotiated yourself into a marriage. Are you together? Even the number of children that you are going to have in your marriage is negotiated. Your parenthood is negotiated. So a lot of things about you are negotiated. Your conception is negotiated. Your gestation, pregnancy, they could have aborted you, by the way. They could have aborted you. Maybe they even tried.
Yes, I have it.
That means that negotiation
Yes. So, even your delivery was negotiated. That's why they have what we call a EDD, expected date of delivery. When you get out, you don't come out. What do they do? They cut you out and bring you out by force. So you are negotiated. Everything about it is negotiation. Your delivery was negotiated. When you start growing, you start crying for attention, you are negotiating. I'm hungry, they're not attending to you, begin to scream. That's a way of negotiating. Are we together? A man is a creature of negotiation. Some have mastered it to the point of negotiating life with death. Jehoshaphat did. And that's what they call it in the Bible. There are a lot of men that are negotiating with death. Even now, in our time here, people are still rising from the dead, by the way. You know that?
Yes.
Or you don't know? People are still rising. She be there's a native doctor that rose from the dead in Asaba. Native doctor. After 2 days of dying, and they put him in
I have an auntie. This one is not.
they put him in a casket, and they were trying to bury him. He got up.
Goes up.
And it was when he got up, he said he was now born again. Because he had an encounter with Christ over there. You know. So people, you still negotiate. They are still negotiating with death even now. So if we can negotiate death, then I don't understand what is not negotiable. Every decision man makes is a consequence of negotiation. Whether he is aware of it or not, it doesn't matter. Every kobo he spends is a result of negotiation. You want to go and buy something, you're asking yourself whether it's even worth your... But you don't negotiate. Of course, you think about it before you spend money. When you want to enter transport, you are calculating.
Yes, so.
If I enter from here to here, blah, blah. What? You are negotiating. Yes.
Some people are still doing 100 naira tomorrow. And people that are doing 50 naira too.
Still doing 15 naira. You negotiate. Those who master the art of negotiation control the destinies of nations. Yes. Resolve today to negotiate yourself to win each and every time. Then you will eat of the good of the land. Then you will eat of the good of the land. But you must first win self-negotiation. If you are defeated already in your mind, sorry. Your first negotiation. Negotiate yourself to relevance. Begin by affirming to yourself, I am somebody. I am to be heard, not only to be seen. I am among the best and brightest of humanity. You are negotiating with yourself to bring out the very best of you. You negotiate yourself to any state or feeling. How are you today? Some people say not bad. Whatever is not bad is not good. I feel great. By the time you say you are great 3-4 times, you start feeling great. And great things start happening to you.
Yes, positive affirmation.
You know. You can negotiate yourself to stardom. I'm a superstar. I'm a winner. So let the weak say what? I am strong. There is no limit to what you can negotiate with your chi, except the limit you negotiate yourself into. Yes. If Satan could negotiate the well-being of innocent Job with God, there is nothing that cannot be negotiated. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Negotiate yourself to the universe's banquet of superabundance. There is room for all. You deserve a place on life's banquet table of cornucopia, of excess, of abundance, of overflowing. Why do you think David was negotiating with God when he was saying, he prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies? He anointed my head with oil and my cup is running over. He was negotiating. He was negotiating. David negotiated on the God gave him a seat on that table, despite the enemies that surrounded him. God poured him the choicest wines until his cup was what? Full and overflowing. Your first negotiation is your negotiation with yourself, with your chi, with your own spirit. You deserve a place on that table and don't settle for less. Even God said, come, let us reason together. Isaiah 1:18. If that is not negotiation, I don't know what is. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes.
A synonym for negotiation is what? Partnership. You can partner your way to prosperity. You should. You must. A quick example of partner is what? Your life partner. You know what the Bible says? He who finds a wife finds a good thing and what? Obtains favor. You can negotiate yourself to prosperity. You do not deserve less. No one succeeds alone. In closing, noise and cacophony is evidence of breakdown of negotiation. We hear a lot of people arguing, people are shouting, they are fighting. It's breakdown of negotiation. Symphony in orchestra is the perfection of negotiation achieved by what? The conductor. The conductor is controlling, negotiating. Here you up, you step it down. What is it? He's putting them together to form an orchestra. So the music you are hearing that you are so much enjoying is what is negotiated. A master work of art is the perfection of beauty of negotiation of lines and colors by a master craftsman. Hence it is called what? A masterpiece. A high performing team happens when players have perfected the art of their interaction to the point of telepathy. They are negotiating. For those of us who watch football, there's nobody there. You are passing there. You are pushing your ball towards that. Another person is quickly going to pick it. You are negotiating. Hey, guy, you that way. And then you are moving the ball and you are already moving somewhere else. The guy knows that the ball must come back to you. Others are coming towards you. The ball has moved back again. That's a perfect team. An athletic machine happens in the perfection of negotiation between body, soul, and spirit. When your body is tired, you begin to push it by sheer will to go beyond the level of performance. That's negotiation. A genius emerges in the perfection of negotiation between spirit and intellect. This is the domain of the chess grandmaster. Wherever negotiation is complete, there is perfect harmony, as in nature. Negotiation is the most extraordinary phenomenon in the creative process. The universe evolves and revolves by constant what? Negotiation. That is why the universe is responding right now to us with what they call global warming. Because we are doing a lot of things that is upsetting nature. So we are negotiating. And this is the result of that negotiation that we are seeing now. There's flood all over everywhere in Nigeria now. Everywhere.
Our own is even compounded by lack of proper training.
Well, we don't even know we are negotiating. Those who know, they are already preparing for it. Perfect negotiation is a supernatural experience. Negotiation is the training of value for a perceived higher value. Negotiate your place in ebony world today. The future is now.